Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you are all well. So today we are going to discuss the 11th problem in the TLE Eliminators CP sheet, 808 problems. The problem name is Ambitious Kid. Let's get started. Chaneka, Park Chenek's child, is an ambitious kid. So Park Chenek gives her the following problem to test her ambition. Given the array of integers, in one operations, Chaneka can choose one element and increase or decrease the element's value by 1. That means she can either plus 1 or minus 1 to the element. Chaneka can do that operation multiple times, even for different elements. What is the minimum number of operations that must be done such that the product of all the elements is 0? In order to get the product as 0, we need to have any one element equal to 0. That will be enough to make the whole product 0. So let's suppose we have a number line. Let's suppose here it's 0, one element is here, then another one is here, another one is here, another one is here, and one is here. So what we can do, we can bring it here. Like bringing this element here would cost us the least amount of operations. Then this or this or this or this. Like these all will cost way more than this. So we'll find the minimum element. Like suppose one element was here also. We'll find the number of operations this element requires as well as this element requires. So we need to find the distance from 0. That's all we need to find. The distance from 0, and we need to minimize that distance, and that will be our output. So let's see the sample test cases. 2, minus 6 and 5. 2, minus 6 and 5. So the distance from 0 is 2, distance is 6 and distance is 5. So we can just decrement this number by 2 using 2 operations, and this would become 0. So 2 operations are required. Moving on to the second test case, we have minus 3. We'll have to add 1 3 times to it to make it 0. So the number of operations are 3. Moving on to the third sample test case, we already have a 0 here, so we don't need to do anything. So a simple code part, we'll just input n, and then we'll take all the n inputs, r of n. Then we'll just find the distance, the minimum distance. That is equal to the absolute value of the variable, and in the end we'll just print the minimum distance. Why absolute? Because I'm taking the difference, so this can be negative number, so taking positive number, that will give us the difference, right? So let's code the same. I have my boilerplate code here. We'll be given an n integer, that is the size of the array. We'll make a vector of size n. We'll take all the elements as inputs. Cn array of I. We'll have a variable distance. We'll assign it to int max. That means this is the maximum distance that is possible. Given the constraints are till 1e5. So we can even take 1e6. So I will have distance is equal to the minimum of distance and the absolute value of ARR of I. In the end, I'll just print the minimum distance. So that is all in the code part. Let's try the sample inputs now. So there are no cases given. So yeah, now let's try to run them. 2 is required, 3 and 0. Yeah, so our code works in the sample test cases. Now let's try to submit it. Paste and submit. So it's running, and it got accepted. So I hope you got the approach and the code. The code for the same would be in the description section. Comment down what was your approach for solving the same problem. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends. Thank you.